You're listening to Bark Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. Each week, your host, Polly Requa, interviews veterinarians and individuals in the pet industry from across the nation answering pet questions. Bark Wag podcast is produced weekly for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at barknwag.com under the podcast tab. That's BARKNWAG.com. Please remember to subscribe to Bark Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk.
Thank you for listening to Bark Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Bark Wag is dedicated to protecting our dogs through advocacy, education, and supporting like-minded dog lovers by selling custom pet products. Bark Wag is excited to announce our new partnership with a Colorado hemp farm to produce a line of CBD products for your pets. Bark Wag has CBD pet tincture available in 300, 750, 1200, and 2400 milligrams. Bark Wag CBD is pet safe, no THC, it's made in the USA, and is CO2 extracted. Please check out Bark Wag's website, barknwag.com. That is BARK, to see our line of CBD and awesome merchandise. We love pooch ideas for podcasts and merchandise, so anytime send an email to Polly at barknwag.com with your suggestions.
Welcome to Bark Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. I'm your host, Polly Requa. Today we're talking to Melissa and Brandon, co-founders and mission coordinators for Summit Lost Pet Rescue. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for having us back.
So I wanted to find out, how is Summit Lost Pet Rescue going?
We've been busier than ever. Just to give you a little recap, we obtained our 501c3 nonprofit status in March of 2020, right after COVID hit. And when we talked with you in December of 2020, at that point, we've saved around 100 lost pets, both cats and dogs. And since then, we have, to date, we've saved about 330 lost pets.
That's just amazing. I follow the two of you on Facebook, and it's so neat to see how the two of you work with your team and the volunteers. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And do you have any success stories?
Oh, we've got tons. Just to give you some statistics, this year alone in 2022, we have a 100% success rate in finding lost dogs, and we're about an 85% success rate in finding lost cats. So we've had many, many success stories due to the fact our volunteers go out, they're incredibly devoted. You know, we tell the team whenever there's a lost pet report, and they just jump on it. So without our volunteers, we would not be near as successful.
And so what happens when a person either via Facebook or a phone call calls the two of you? What goes on?
Well, first off, we get calls numerous ways. They either contacts our Facebook page. We're trying to get everybody to streamline to contact our office number. And as soon as we get the telephone call, we just go straight out and add the owner to our Facebook Messenger thread, which we have multiple threads. One's Team Breck, one's Team Frisco, Team Silverthorne. We will add the owner, and she would update our team with all the details of the temperament and reason for displacement of the animal. And from there, we just because each case is different, and from there, we implement our mission, and we just start.
Okay, so first, maybe we should just let everyone know, what areas do you handle in the Rocky Mountains?
All of Summit County. We do oversee a small team in Leadville and another small team in Fairplay. We do get calls from all over the state and actually the country. We've done multiple consultations from out of state. Obviously, Melissa and I can't physically go to California, Texas, Florida, where we get calls, but under certain circumstances, if it's a really heart-wrenching case, like a car accident, elderly, we will definitely consult and help them and just give them advice.
Yeah, but physically, we focus on Summit County. That's where our volunteers are based. That's where all of our resources are based. I wish we were bigger, but at this time, we focus on Summit County.
And so how can people get a hold of you?
As Brandon mentioned, we're trying to streamline all of the communication. Instead of people just tagging me and Brandon on Facebook or texting us personally, We get messages from all over the place. We're trying to have people call our office number directly, which is 970-423-5701. Or they can go to our website at lostpetrescue.org and they can fill out an owner intake form from there. At that point, we can activate our team of volunteers.
Great. And I know people love to hear the success stories. Can you just maybe give us one or two?
Sure. Brandon, you want to talk about Blaze?
Well, this one's twofold. We were working a mission of a newly engaged couple came up here from Denver, and the pet sitter lost their dog. He was extremely sad. He really put 150% effort into trying to find his lost dog. 3 days later, we got a call from a friend of mine. I was with the owner, kind of discussing the next steps of the plan. And we went down to where the sighting was and saw Bergen. And he kind of just used calming techniques and calm verbiage of the name and was able to get Bergen down for about 200 or 300 yards up a snowy mountain. The video is really cute because they're both just trail breaking through like 2-3 feet of snow. It's up to her neck. And they're both paddling through this snow field to get to each other.
So how was the dog lost initially?
The pet sitter.
Or the pet sitter. Oh, so just got loose out of the house?
She opened the door. Well, the pet sitter and the dog didn't really get along. And she's like, I can't get a leash on your dog. She won't let me go near her. And then she's like, she's got to go out. So I'm just going to open the door. And when she opened the door, the dog just took off.
Oh, what a shame. Do you find that most of the lost dogs are within the neighborhood, or do you find people hiking and the dog goes after a moose or some type of wildlife? What are you seeing?
It's both. I would say the majority of our lost pet reports are either lost from home or they're lost on trail while hiking, lost from car accidents, or they're a newly adopted cat or dog and they bolt the second that they get home with their new owner. In this particular case, again, he was lost from a dog sitter from their home. So there's all kinds of different reasons that dogs and cats get displaced.
Okay. And do you have one more?
Yeah, I want to talk to you. This one's awesome. We trapped a cat named Cleo in Frisco, and it was a great collective effort from our volunteers. We were all over it for 10 days straight. On the 10th day, we were able to trap her. The owner's in her mid-90s, and it was an indoor-only cat, and she escaped from the car when they were heading down to their place in Denver. And literally, the cat jumped out of the car in Frisco. So, she didn't really know a whole lot about us, but her daughter did. They called us. We activated our team in Frisco, and we immediately set up cameras and cat food and a scent station with the owner's smelly clothes. This gives them an orientation point for a place for lost cats and lost dogs to come back to. And again, since she was an indoor-only cat, she didn't really know where she was. Fortunately, after a lot of searching from our volunteers for 9 days, we caught her on camera on day 9. And so we immediately set up a trap. And within that next day, less than 24 hours later, we had her trapped and reunited with her elderly owner. And there was tears all around. It was a great reunion.
Oh, how exciting. Good for you guys. I know the community loves having your 501(c) in Summit County and surrounding areas. And all of these stories are just phenomenal because I know a lot of owners search months and years for their pet, and it's so nice to have your service.
Thank you. It's definitely a needed service. We wish we weren't so busy because it's, very overwhelming and emotional for the owners when their pets go missing. But we've got a great team of dedicated volunteers, and we've got the knowledge and the resources. So we like to pay it forward and help the community out.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, and we look forward to having you back.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Polly.
Thank you for listening to Bark Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.